To quickly address certain mistakes that the UK visa applicants have been making in the recent times, especially people who are submitting applications for the sponsored visa routes. Visas like the UK Health and Care Worker Visa, otherwise popularly known as Healthcare Visa. These are mostly the reasons why there is a rising cases of visa denial at the embassy at the moment. There is no doubt that a lot of people have already successfully relocated to the UK through this health and care worker visa route or even the skilled worker visa route. There are still many others who are announcing the ambition of taking these steps across the world, in Africa and in Asia. But at the moment, this rising increase of deniers definitely are getting people spooked. People are getting definitely worried on what would be the outcome of their own application. Now, there is this news out there that the reason why there are deniers is possibly because the UK have already gotten the number of people they want for the year. So they are just collecting money from applicants and denying their applications. Now, I can assure you that this is not the case. The UK at the moment is in desperate need of foreign workers. It is not just about the UK. I think this is something that is across the European Union at the moment. But UK in particular may have suffered the worst of it because of their decision to pull out of the European Union. The Brexit, from all indication, have contributed to the shortage of labor force in the UK. It's not just the Brexit, even the coronavirus pandemic also contributed, especially when it comes to the UK sector. There is definitely lack of or shortage of labor force in that area. Healthcare workers are wanted from all over the world to relocate to the United Kingdom to show up what is lacking at the moment and to show up the United Kingdom economy as a whole. So this idea that UK no longer wants foreigners to relocate to the UK is not true. That is definitely not the case. People are getting denied because of mistakes in their applications. Most of these mistakes come out of ignorance from what I have uncovered. There is this negligence in submitting these applications, probably out of lack of knowledge or people who are helped by people who know very little in the course of their visa application. That is why it is always important to meet professionals, meet people who are trained and experienced in this field to help you put together your applications to ensure that you stand the best chances of. When you do it properly, then the chances of success is brightened. That's the importance of doing it well and doing it right and making sure that you are working with people who understand what needs to be done. Don't make the mistake of engaging the services of touts. Discuss these 5 major mistakes that you must avoid in submitting your application for the UK healthcare visa. Number 1 is using fake documents. Yes, you heard me right. Using fake documents. It is obvious from information we've uncovered out there that visa applicants are in the habit of faking documents. And some people do this intentionally, thinking that they will not be caught. There's no doubt that possibly some people may have used fake documents successfully and they were not caught. That does not mean that you should use it. It will be to your own detriment if you want to take that risk. Listen, these people, as they have technological advancement, you cannot take things for granted that you using fake documents could put you at risk. If you are caught, do you know the meaning of it? You can get barred, you can get visa banned for 10 years. That is not even the end of it. You can be prosecuted. You can be criminally prosecuted in your own country. Because if you are caught, the visa officials can report you to the police and you'll be criminally prosecuted. Even if you are lucky you are not prosecuted, you can get a visa ban for up to 10 years, meaning that you never get visa to the UK for within the period of 10 years. If you go to the UK visa website, you find information that tells you what to do when you don't have a particular document. It is in your best interest to explain why you do not have a document than to try to fake that document. No, if you don't have it there are many reasons why you might not have a document at that moment. It could be because it is missing. It could be because it is not ready. It could be because it is being mutilated or somehow. Explain it. Give reasons why it is not available. The fact that you do not have it would not disqualify you, especially if the reasons are cogent, coherently and well and expressly clearly expressed. The visa officers would still, may still, I'm not going to say must, but they could still give you the benefit of that when the explanation is very clear. You are better off doing that than going ahead, falsifying or faking any document, thinking that you will outsmart the visa officers. Sometimes you might succeed, but it's not in your best interest. But when you are caught, the repercussion is very severe. So avoid faking documents. People have been caught. I'm aware that people have been caught and have been banned from coming to the UK for upwards of 10 years. That is not something. Number two, that is mistake number two, failure to confirm documents. Now, this is closely related to the first mistake, which we just discussed. Failure to confirm documents. What do I mean by that? Certain official documents in some countries is not easy to procure. I understand that personally by virtue of my profession. Getting documents from official quarters because of some bureaucratic bottleneck is always very difficult. So this very reason, individuals who want these official documents certain times procure the services of some touts, some middlemen. And I must sound it very clear. The truth is that in some cases, these middlemen or these touts are actually sponsored by these government officials whose duty it is to ensure that you get these documents. But they somehow artificially create difficulty, making it impossible, almost impossible, or very difficult for you to get this document directly, thereby giving rise to the emergence of these touts or middlemen who are sponsored by them. Now, how do they benefit? How do they benefit from this situation? These DAOs now come in to help you procure these documents, but at premium, at a very higher cost to what you would have ordinarily paid. They charge you more than the official amount and promise to help you get these documents. This is what happens. Now, the risky part of this is not only that you are going to pay more. If it is just paying more, I think that is something some people wouldn't mind. Pay more as long as you're getting the right document. If that is the case, I definitely wouldn't have been talking about this. I wouldn't have added it as a mistake. Where the risk lies is that these touts sometimes, even though they are charging more, who brought them into the system, they take this money and want to keep all of it to themselves. They don't want to share with their sponsors. So where they get a job, rather than going to their sponsors to ensure that the right or the genuine document is procured, they don't go there, they keep the whole money, they go and fake this document and bring it to you. You thinking that because you have paid a huge amount of money that you are going to get the right document, unknowing to you what you are getting is fake. You go running with it, thinking that what you have is what is supposed to be. Unsuspecting as you are, you will now use these documents and submit together with your other supporting documents for your healthcare visa application. At the end of the day, the visa officers can now discover that this document you submitted is fake. At that moment, the fact that you are unaware of it, ignorance is not a mistake. The fact that you are unaware of it does not avail you, does not exculpate you in any way. You are still liable. You are the one who is going to suffer it. Even though you have paid more money, you are now facing the risk of being charged, criminally prosecuted for using fake documents and even getting visa ban up to 10 years because of something you know nothing about. Therefore, it's always important to confirm this document, even though you have paid so much amount of money for procuring it. Confirm and ensure it is genuine. Find a way to make that confirmation before you use them. Number three, ignoring what is basic. Now, what do I mean by this? It is without doubt that the UK healthcare visa is about going to the UK to take up a job in the health sector. That is what the visa is all about. It's not like visiting visa. It's not like student visa, where you're going to the UK to study. For the health and care worker visa, you are traveling to the UK to take up a job that has been offered to you by a UK company. Now, from my understanding, what happens is that before these UK companies offer you this job, they might conduct certain level of interview before offering you the job. Now, but I understand that this interview is not really as adequate, or sometimes not in all cases, they are not as adequate as the embassy would want it, as the home office would want it. These companies from my understanding, actually train these foreigners when they come into the UK. They train you in-house. They train and retrain and ensure that you are fit for purpose before deploying you to the field. So for that very reason, they don't really go too far in the assessment or in the interview to confirm whether you actually have experience for the job, or looking at your academic qualifications, which is never really much of importance in evaluating or vetting who to offer job or who not to offer job. But when it comes to the UK Home Office assessment, that is by the time you appear at the embassy, where the company have overlooked, the embassy will not overlook. The embassy now, from what is happening now, goes as far as they don't ignore anything anymore. Nothing is taken for granted anymore. They want to ensure that you are fit for purpose even before you take off from your own country to the UK. In other words, they are now beginning to interview applicants based on the experience you claim to have. They want to be sure that you actually have the required or the requisite experience for the job. Where you don't manifest, or where you don't satisfy them that you have the requisite experience, that is automatic denial. So at the moment, people ignore this, not knowing that it's no longer business as usual. They just submit documents you've gotten from wherever, or make any claim, any bogus claim, expecting that the UK embassy is just going to accept everything that you've said. That is no longer the case. In order to avoid this mistake, it is advised that you try to get requisite experience in your home country even before you appear for the interview. There are trainings you can even get online for free at the moment, some basic trainings with which you can get some basic certificate that will satisfy most of these preliminary requirements. And don't just depend on the paper qualification that you can get online. Try and get some practical experience. Whatever you have that is closest to care homes in your country, attach yourself there for a particular period. Even if it's a hospital, attach yourself there for a particular period. Gather and gather some experience. Understand what the job is all about. That particular job that is on your certificate of sponsorship, that job you are going to do, make sure you have practical understanding of what it is all about. So that should there be any question in this area, you know exactly what to say, you know exactly what to answer. Where questions come from this area and you're looking moral, unable to satisfy the visa officer that you are qualified for that job, that you have experience for that job, it does not matter that you already have a certificate of sponsorship. That is completely irrelevant. That is automatic denial for you. That is mistake number 3. Now, mistake number 4, failure to keep paper trail. Yeah, what do I mean by that? You need to understand that this visa application or consideration of this visa application, in most cases, is based on your supporting evidence. These supporting evidence are mostly documentary in nature. But what I've discovered is that sometimes these visa applicants lose track of keeping this documentary evidence of how they started application for these jobs, or how they were interviewed for this job. Everything that has happened in the course of trying to get this job and apply for the visa interview, people lose track of it. They do not keep a paper trail of everything, including correspondence, emails, and all that. They don't keep track or documentations of all these things. You need to keep them. It is important. It is not enough that when you are asked at the embassy, have you done this? You say yes. They want evidence. Evidence. That is what white man wants. Evidence. You need to give evidence of what you are claiming. Don't just say yes. Yes is not enough. From day one, you are assumed to be lying. In order for you to show that you are not lying, in order for you to satisfy whoever is asking the question that what you're saying is the truth, is to adduce evidence. So always make sure you keep a paper trail of everything that you are doing in the course of preparing for this interview. Things like, for instance, let me give you an example of the areas you need to look at. Things like how you got the job from the UK company. How did you get it? How you got the UK company that offered you the job? How did you even get the company in the first place? It is important. Did you find them by browsing? Did you find them from going to UK recruitment websites? However it is, keep paper trail of how you got the company. Then, how many other companies you applied to for a job? How did you go about searching for these companies? Did you write emails? Did you make phone calls? Did you browse the internet? Keep record of these things. How did you even apply for the job? Did you submit written application? Did you submit your CV? Did you, whatever it is that you did, how you were interviewed for the job? That's another important area. Then the documents that you provided to the company in support of your job application. These are things you cannot ignore. These are things you must not lose track of. Keep them in place, put them together, make sure they are ready and even handy with you while you have while you are appear for the interview. Keep them handy. And when questions are asked around this area, make sure you provide them, adduce them. That would definitely help your case. Therefore, it is important that you keep a clear paper trail of this journey from the very beginning until you got the job and attended the interview. And finally, that is mistake number 5, working with unlicensed sponsor. When I say sponsor, you will understand what I mean if you have made this application before or if you have looked into it. Sponsor is the UK company that offers you the job. That UK company that issued you the certificate of sponsorship with which you now apply to the embassy for the health and care worker visa. But not all companies in the UK have the approval to do this. Not all companies in the UK have the approval to sponsor foreign workers to the UK. Not all. There are companies in the UK that, yes, have vacancies, can employ, but they are not authorized to employ foreigners from outside of the UK. Companies who have this license have undergone through some processes before getting issued this license, which now gives them the authority to employ workers from outside of the UK. So before you start doing anything with any company, no matter how much you think they are going to pay you, no matter how much your salary is, which might now tempt you to ignore the relevant or the basic things that you need to do, which is, first of all, confirming that this company has sponsorship license. Don't take that risk. First of all, find out if they are licensed. If they are licensed, then proceed with whatever arrangement you are making. But if they are not licensed, then to your tent, O Israel. I hope you understand what that means. To your tent, O Israel. If they are not licensed, dump them with the same speed you found them and keep searching until you find a company that has license. If you are working with a licensed UK company, chances are that most of the mistakes that applicants make would not happen because most of them already know what needs to be done. The certificate of sponsorship they are going to give you would definitely contain the required information because they would have in-house staffs that are in charge of these areas, including visas and immigrations. Now, I have seen some contents out there in the on Facebook and even online where some content creators try to almost train you as a visa applicant to become an immigration lawyer. No, that is not what I've set out to do. By the time you get yourself a licensed UK company, most of the mistakes you would ordinarily make would no longer happen. I wouldn't be looking at issues like the salary threshold that you're supposed to meet or the nature of job that you're supposed to get. I'm not going to be looking into that because I'm not expecting you to be an immigration lawyer. It's not relevant. You don't need to know all that. If you get a licensed UK company, they can take care of those areas. But where you still need help, it is good that you always seek for professionals to guide you. Look for immigration lawyers. You can get them online, you can get them in your country and pay their due fee and get the right advice and make sure you get things right from the beginning. Yeah, so those are the 5 major mistakes that people are currently making that have given rise or that continue to give rise to the incidences of visa denial in the UK at the moment. If you can avoid these 5 mistakes, every other thing being equal, all is uhuru. Every other thing being equal, you are on the right path and will definitely make a success of your application. Relocating to the UK is not rocket science. All you need is the right knowledge, the right information, and working with the right professionals. Your plan will definitely become a reality. There could be some other videos you find on this channel that will be of help to you, especially when appearing on while appearing for visa interview, the things to expect and how to approach questions. There are videos on this channel that will be of help to you. Now, if you have found the content of this particular video useful to you in any way, please like and share it. Make sure you get to others who would find it useful as well. Thank you.